Blake Snell will officially go down as not just the weirdest Cy Young Award winner ever, but the weirdest two-time Cy Young Award winner, and definitely the weirdest pitcher to win a Cy Young in both the American and National League. And I say weird because who else can you talk about who just won the Cy Young Award, literally just won it, something that's rewarded to statistically the best pitcher in a season in the light that Snell's been talked about. Again, this guy's won the award twice, once in both leagues. He's clearly got nasty stuff, and again, it's just so strange out of context. His entire career is weirder than the average reply guy on Twitter. Okay, maybe that's taking a little too far, but you get the point. It's been weird. So if you're part of the 70% of viewers not subscribed yet, come aboard and join the wonderful subscribers of the channel, as when he entered free agency in 2019, Garrett Cole had won a single Cy Young Award. Yet his sweepstakes were high, and he ended up with the most expensive contract of all time for a pitcher. Yoshinobu Yamamoto never threw a single pitch in the big leagues, yet proceeded to get even more than Cole. Blake Snell had not one, but 2 Cy Young Awards under his belt entering free agency, one in each league, yet it's been pretty obvious from the beginning that Blake Snell was not someone you want to give a big contract to. Forget anything near what Cole or Yamamoto got, giving Snell half of that seemed absurd. Pretty much everyone knew and felt that, and I feel like anyone willing to give him that, any of the few fans who felt their team should give him a big contract, were just desperate for a blockbuster move. Because there is no chance giving Snell what he and Scott Boras were looking for in free agency would be good for your franchise in the long run. And Snell has not only gone on to prove that, but he's also proved that he's not good even in the short term. Maybe Scott Boras was right all along. Maybe he didn't screw over his client and he got Snell exactly what he was worth, a short-term deal. No, he most definitely screwed Snell over, as he could have gotten $150 million from the Yankees, declined it in hopes for more, and had to settle for a 2-year deal worth $62 million with an opt-out after the first with the Giants. So it's like he's back to square one, hoping to have another great year to enter the market with and get the long contract he was looking for all along. But then again, he literally just did that. What makes anyone think things will be different when Snell is just older this time? If anything, people will be less enthused to sign him, and that's assuming he has a great year again, which, even though he's talented, is actually a lot to ask. To start, no pun intended, he's never thrown 200 innings in a season. Not once, not even in his best year, so you can't rely on him being an innings eater necessarily. The highest number of innings he's gone is 180, and he's done that twice in the years you probably would have guessed if you didn't already know, the Cy Young seasons. 180 and 2/3 in 2018 with the Rays, where he put up a 1.89 ERA, the best in the American League, and 180 innings on the dot last year in 2023, where he put up a 2.25 ERA, the best in all of baseball. The issue is the shit that's sandwiched between those two awesome years. Awesome years which even had red flags of their own, but from 2019 through 2022, Snell wasn't awful necessarily, but he was not at all reliable to be good or healthy, averaging just over 120 innings if you disregard 2020 with the shortened year, having elbow issues and adductor issues through those years. Surprise, this may shock you, but MLB games are at the top of my favorite things to do, and I'd assume the same for you. I recently went to a game with my dad, which is always great, and I also went to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati for the first time. That was fun. And thanks to Game Time, I was able to get great deals on all the tickets. The app is very simple and self-explanatory. It gives you all the info you need to know if you're getting ripped off or saving money. Game Time really has come up clutch for me with tickets, as it really helps with finding great last-minute deals, lowest prices possible, event cancellation, and job loss protection. Game Time is just all about finding ways to save you money. They're great, convenient. I honestly can't complain with any deal I've gotten from Game Time this season, and you can have the same experience, but even better. All you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code iTALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code iTALK, ITALK, for $20 off. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, back to the video. Even in his second Cy Young year in 2023, Snell was nasty, but he also walked more hitters than anyone in baseball. Not ideal, most of it really wasn't, at least for someone asking for 9 years and north of $250 million for his payday, so the contract he got was fitting, and credit to the Giants for waiting it out and getting Snell for no long commitment, just like they did with Chapman, another Boras client. So the Giants benefited most here, at least that's what it seemed like before the season. Fast forward to today, and the Giants haven't benefited at all. So since Snell waited longer to sign than the people who wait in lines at Disney for whatever reason, he wasn't able to have a spring training, something he contributed to the struggles he's had so far this year.
The one thing I would say, yeah, like big league spring training, you need it. Yeah, it's tough to do it. Like, I thought I did everything I could to be ready. And then even just after 2 weeks, like noticing how much better I was throwing the ball just being here every day. There's nothing like you have to go to spring training. So hopefully, I mean, for me, I hope teams see that. And I mean, I don't know what Montgomery's doing, but I bet it's tough for him. Like, it's not easy. So I didn't face a big league hitter until I pitched my first game in the big leagues this year, and it's tough. You just have nothing to go off of. You're just kind of like, oh, let's see what we got. Faced 18-year-olds, but yeah, so it's all excuses, but it's the truth.
Well, I'm not sure how well spring training truly would have helped things and changed things, facing big league hitters for the first time early on rather than in the third week of the actual season, but you gotta think it'd be better than what we've seen so far in 2024. I think he's onto something there. In 6 starts, Snell's ERA is bigger than Lizzo at 9.5. He's of course walking people. It's a very on-brand type of struggling situation for Snell. That's typical. He's still throwing hard and has a good strikeout rate, just like when he's good in the short time we've seen him this year, but he's also just not great overall with the results and dealing with the injury bug. He missed an entire month after already having a delayed start to the season because of another adductor injury, but is now going back on the injured list because of a groin injury that took him out of his most recent outing against the Yankees. So he's not even reliable to take them out, and even when he does, he's been really bad. Great. Well, not only is Snell hurting the Giants, but he's also hurting practically every other starting pitcher who's going to be entering the free agent market in the near future. And none of this is a personal attack on Snell as a person. He seems like a cool and fun dude to be teammates with.
Pineapple on pizza? No. My older brother eat pineapple on pizza. That man's sick. Blake, you on my fantasy team. Man, F your fantasy team. Leave me alone. I don't care about your damn fantasy team.
He's of course also incredibly talented. He didn't win 2 Cy Young Awards on accident. But his track record is just so strange to the point where he is talented, but also not someone you should ever want to commit long term to. Both can be true. And as if the free agent market in general, but especially the pitching market, wasn't already getting screwed and cooked, the season hasn't helped with that, like at all. The endless elbow issues, even with guys whose teams limited their innings, even with guys like Garrett Cole with good track records of staying healthy, or Spencer Strider who already got elbow surgery. I mean, people were already reluctant to sign starting pitchers, whether they were aces or middle of the pack type guys. Now factor in the extreme direction that this elbow epidemic is going in, and then add Blake Snell proving everyone right as another thing that will only be screwing the market further. I mean, again, it wasn't rocket science. Snell was bound to have issues, either staying healthy or being consistent on the mound, if not both. Hence, literally every owner refusing to give him anything close to what he wanted for a contract. So Snell coming out the gate doing exactly what teams were worried about him doing isn't exactly going to help him get what he wants in free agency, but it's even bigger than that. Forget just him. Any other pitcher entering the free agent market won't get what they want, let alone Snell. Even a guy like Max Fried, who is by far the best upcoming free agent starting pitcher, I don't really see him getting quite what we think he would get. And it's understandable. At least with hitters, you know there's a lot better of a chance that they're going to be able to play every day and be more reliable for your team. Pitchers are already limited with how much they impact your team. Now add on the elbow issues and the obvious inconsistencies that come from those who even win 2 Cy Young Awards. You see all this and forget even the money from the owner's perspective. It's about just being smart when building a franchise. Does it really matter how good a pitcher is if there's a damn good chance he'll have a ticking time bomb on his elbow, or will end up like Blake Snell and just simply not be worth it at all? It's just stuff to think about. And with Blake Snell specifically, he's really not helping anyone out right now after what already was a frustrating offseason for him. He's not helping himself, he's not helping the Giants, and he's also not helping starting pitchers as a whole. How much does it really change things in a negative manner? I don't exactly know that. I don't know if anybody does. But there's certainly something to Blake Snell doing pretty much exactly what every team in baseball feared he would do. They're all getting proven right, and that's not good for pitchers who want to get a big payday. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.